So I will be taking over from the slides from slide, if you can skip all the slides to slide 18. Please, on the top, on the arrow over there, please click on next till you get to slide 18. When you get to slide 18, the screen will appear as on your screen. So I'm starting from where I left before, showing you the process, how to access the slides. So now that we have access to the slides, you can, from 19 where I left you, on the training objectives. So as I've explained around, I'll be just giving an overview about the training objectives with the ones I've highlighted with the red one. So slide 20 will appear as on your screen. With slide 20, we talk about what is first aid. It's an immediate care given to an injured athlete, suddenly ill person. For example, if an athlete is injured in a football pitch, that is the sports first aid and emergency officer will come and give the care for the athlete or individual. There are some legal consequences when it comes to sports first aid and emergency, which are you seeking consent of an athlete. Or like, for example, you can't just go to an athlete and just start care that he need. You need to seek his consent first. So for example, if I'm injured on the floor and you come into me to give me render said service to me, you need to ask me, please, are you happy for me to treat your injury that you have on your knee? For me to respond first. It's another way of surveying whether the person is responsive or not unresponsive. If it's unconscious or conscious, you have to assess that. So it's a legal requirement. You can't just touch anyone without seeking their consent. So please bear in mind, as a sports first aider, it's legal requirement that you comply with that. So let's move on. I'll try and catch it up quickly once you have the slides, so you'll be able to also catch you'll be able to catch it up as we go along. There are principles of sports first aid and emergency, which we all have to comply with. These are basic ones that every sports first aid and emergency personnel know. One is preserving life. Under the preserving life, we have opening the casualty airway. As we go along, I will explain how to. And also, the next will be breathing. You have to always check whether the casualty is breathing or not breathing. It's part of the preserving life principles. And circulation, whether the casualty having the circulation or not having the circulation, is part of it. The next is also prevent deterioration. It's about you checking whether the person is bleeding, to stop the bleeding, track any shock if the person have any shock during the process, or have threats, other injuries. Like for example, I might have an injury, but the injury can have also affected other players. Like someone injured me, ideally, once falling, I end up injuring another person again. So we have to take care of that. It's part of the principles that we have to comply with. Now, the next is promoting recovery. Once you've identified a casualty having an injury and is conscious, you want to preserve his life. You want to ensure that the person is positioned, is where recovery position be taken to hospital. For example, reassuring the person, and also supporting the person with the relief pain, handling with care, and protecting from any harm. For example, where I'm injured, let's say if I'm playing football on a pitch that looks unsafe and I'm injured, you want to make sure that wherever you have positioned me to stay or to sit there for a while whilst you're waiting for the taxi to come to the hospital, you want to ensure that the place is safe for me. For example, there might be something that a sharp hair or anything that can injure me or can cause more harm to my injury. You have to ensure that the place is safe for me. So as a sports first aider, it is your job. Slide 22 continues with the principles of the first aid. That is what we've discussed already. It's about assessing if there is any danger. Assessing if there is any danger. 2, make the place safe for the casualty. 3, the next is give emergency first aid. If the person need any injury to be need to be checked, please, it's your job to do that. Again, the next is if you need help. For example, I might see a casualty injured in football or any other sports, but it's beyond my capability. So I need to seek for help. If I have to call doctor, I have to call a nurse, or I have to look for any nearest hospital, it is my job. Now, once that is done, it is your job to also clear up the place. Anything that can cause another harm to individual players or any other person, we have to clear the place to ensure that the place is safe. You also, as a sports first aider, have to look after yourself, because there is a principle that if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others. So you have to make sure that you are safe. You have taken good care of yourself. For example, before you support anyone who is injured as a sports first aider, you want to assess the place and ensure the place is safe for you to go. If there are bottles over there that can injure you, you have to make sure you clear all these bottles there before you render such service to the casualty. So preserving life, which we have already talked about, promoting recovery, we've talked about taking immediate action. Taking immediate action is also very important. Next, it's also very important sometimes when an athlete or a footballer had an injury, we panic. I've had an instance whereby a sports first aider have seen a player who have a serious injury on the knee, and then he rather end up panicking. Because he panics, he end up also injuring himself. So you need to keep calm. Again, I've already seeking for help, call for a medical assistant, and apply relevant treatment to the casualty. As part of the principle, we all have to comply with the chain survivor principle. That is, 1, early access and a call to a doctor or a GP or a nurse. I've already explained in the previous slides. Next is an early first aid treatment. If you need to have any first aid treatment, please, it's your job to do that as a chain survivor. Again, if the casualty is unconscious, it is your job to apply CPR, which I will explain in the next slides. And again, I also explain about early defibrillation, which we have is there is a defibrillation machine that you can use it to check the person in case the person is unconscious, you can also use it. The next to the chain of survivor is early advanced care to the hospital. As I explained earlier, you call the doctor as in the process to ensure that this casualty has been taken care of to the doctor or to the nearest hospital. The next on my slides talk about carrying a primary survey. So with a primary survey, please kindly go to the slides, and I think go to slide below the slides that you are using now. There is a video over there that I will explain to you what the video is about. Before I move on to my next slides, yeah, user, please, we are listening to you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. My question is, when we are checking for the airways, is there a specific position you have to put the casualty
Okay.
for him or her to be safe,
Okay.
so that you can easily attend to the person?
Okay. When you are, I will show you a bit over here. I'll quickly go to, we haven't got there yet, but I will show it to you.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
go to slide. Yeah, we can still go on there because it's part of the lesson. We can still go on there. Exactly. So let's go to slide 30 with use your name again, please.
What?
Martin, please. Next time when you can log in with your main name, your name, so that we can address you with that.
Oh, okay.
Go to slide
Okay, I'm
30
sorry.
with the question you asked. We haven't got there yet, but I just want to
Okay.
touch on it quickly. So this is how we lift the casualty airway. You put your hand out. There is a video
Okay.
demonstration how to do it, but at the moment, I just want you to have a look at what the question you asked, so that you will know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Did I answer you correctly? So
Yeah. Yes, please. Yes, please. I've seen
so
it.
so lifting the chin, the person, you have to ensure the casualty is laying down flat, and then you lift the chin by putting your hand on the under the chin and lifting it up straight up. So there is a video demonstration with that. So let me go back to the slides back again. Okay, I think Joe Debra is still on, has raised his hand, but anytime we unmute him, we can't hear him.